John, at least you got your results in a day. You used to have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for them to mail a packet out.
Well,
Forever.
we just got it last weekend, but
Yeah.
it's.
It's just nice when it's.
All excited.
We're loud.
Almost, yeah. Not quite.
Well, they can hear us.
There you go. Now you're live.
We see this a little better.
Oh, we can't see John. We miss it all. I don't think I can get them in back there. Oh, maybe.
Oh, no, there you go, there you go.
You don't really need to.
Yeah, oh, a little bit more. Oh, we're good.
A little more. A little more.
Did them wrong. You never told them.
Yes. More. Siren.
Our table.
Thank you very much. I don't know if she wants to email her report quick. I can give it to Kevin and read it when you read.
You can use if you just email it to you also. That's not good.
She said she asked for Zoom and I didn't give her a link, but she didn't. It's nice to be. They're not.
Yes, we got a sign.
Oh, what is that?
Well, they just said that table, Tara's not coming, so you guys can sit there, it's better.
No, she's gonna, I think, send me her report.
Yeah, so we just said if they want to move out of the sun, they could move over there.
Can I move into the sun? It's gonna be gone before we know it.
Scenic gallery over here. We're gonna just deny
All right, we're ready to go.
Maybe that's okay.
Yep, I am.
All right, 6 o'clock, call the meeting to order. All right, so pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so first and foremost, looking for motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Turned by Kelly, seconded by Katie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Moving on. All right. Comments from the public. Public. Y'all are for later?
No,
Nope, not yet.
that's all.
All right. So, special appearances. Brandon Anderson.
So I'm here to ask approval, I guess, of our trip that is happening, we would like to happen next June. And I can't remember, it's June 8th through 7th, we have the information.
The 14th.
Yep. So that's a Sunday through a Saturday. It is our typical Florida trip, itinerary, activities, all that kind of stuff, and I just need an okay to say that it's all right to continue planning.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve, the Siren High School.
Wait, isn't it under new business? We have to wait till new business.
Oh,
Yeah, we have it in new business, Steve.
oh, okay, sorry.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, if anyone has any questions for Bryn before we move
As
on.
It's just the same as
I
every
have
year.
community band at 7, so I need to,
Okay.
by then, if you're not to it.
Okay,
Okay, so,
no questions?
Is there any differences? Anything change?
nope.
Cost probably.
Got it all in the, yeah.
It works the way it is.
We definitely appreciate all the work you do this for the kids. I know a lot of them talk about it for years and years, so thank you for that. All right, we'll add this to new, or it should be a new business, so we'll address them.
Okay,
Thank you very
Bryn.
much.
and if, under the accept donations, do you want me to comment on any of that, or do you have a?
Oh, you can, yeah. So yes, we got some donations from the class of 1974. 4 donations are being presented at this time. Do you want to comment on that, Brent, or do you just want me to read the note that we have? with it?
4 donations, was that just the number of checks?
Yeah.
Yes.
4 checks, $800.
$800.
Yes,
Yes, I did a tour for them, a tour of the school, and they had collected that at their 50th reunion, class reunion. And they were very, very adamant and very emotional about their donation and that they wanted it to go to students in need.
Mhm.
And so we were listing off of the things that it could go to. And I'm not sure how this all works, but my suggestion is, if it is possible, to maybe set up some type of special account that can go into, so the public knows that it's going toward that, you know what I mean, instead of a general fund.
right.
Maybe it can be an angel account or something like that, so that if there are future donations, which this class did, they're going to challenge the other classes who have 50th anniversaries to do the same thing. So I don't know what that would look like, but that's just a suggestion, so that, because they were so adamant about it.
Would that have to sit outside of the school with Moms for Kids kind of a thing, like a different fiscal agent to be a separate account, or could it be an account?
I don't,
Could be an activity account.
Yeah,
Okay, it could be a utility account, okay.
okay,
the thing that I think that it kind of caught up on is that if it's not spent within that year, like a general donation, you know, it needs to be spent within the year.
Mhm.
Am I correct?
Okay,
So if we don't have that need, where does that money go? If it's not used? So can it be put in an account where it's there,
Right.
ready?
So right now, we know we already have more than that in overdue lunch accounts alone. But
Even though.
you know what I'm saying? Yes, I see what you're saying. If we were by chance to end up with any excess.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, at this point, I think we could just put this all towards even just the first one, the lunches, and
Mhm.
it'd make a huge difference.
Would they want a receipt from Laura showing that it went towards the
I
one?
don't-
Okay.
I don't think so. I think that they trust it, but you know, they trust the
What's-
process, but
So I'm
They
just
didn't
not,
have any expectations, right?
no, they didn't.
Just whatever the school decided on that,
Mhm.
or the board, I guess. the board.
I'm just curious about their checks being written out to Siren Consolidated Schools. Does it like matter when that's our
That's our
legal name? Oh. I've never seen that.
But we
because
could,
most of us don't want to write that much, but
we could also bring this up in
Budget.
committee as well. And look into it for that, so. But we do definitely appreciate this, and I know there's a lot of families that'll benefit from it, and hopefully, like you said, it'll start a benchmark and
Yeah, I thought it
others will
was
follow
a very
suit.
nice gesture on their part. And the
Yes,
fact that they want to keep it going, and like we need to acknowledge that and
Mhm.
encourage it.
yes,
As long as they feel that needed.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we need to accept the
I
donation?
think we do need to,
yeah, we have to accept the donation, so.
oh,
Typically, we send a thank you,
okay,
we'll just work on it in the district office, just so you know, then we'll.
I appreciate that. So yes, looking for a motion to accept the donations from the class of 1974.
Do we need to do all 4 checks separately, or can we do it all in a
No,
lump?
it's a
sum?
donation by the class of 74,
Okay,
so we
so
can
it-
do it as
okay.
one, and I'll make that motion, Tom.
Okay,
I'll second it.
Okay, so we'll just go with Peggy and Jamie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Moving on. Treasurer's report. May of 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second that.
I have a motion from Katie, seconded by Jamie to accept the treasurer's report. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye, opposed? Were you able to get that, Lisa?
Yeah, it just shut off the camera for some reason.
I was having a lot of trouble with Google login today,
Yeah.
so I don't.
One was too bright.
Try that again. If anybody sees it, just feel free to yell at me.
All right. So we good to go again?
I think so.
Okay,
I mean, it seems to be running, so.
all right. I've got nothing for the president's report correspondence at this time. So we'll just move on to the committees. Budget, finance and personnel,
We have several items that we'll be discussing in close today.
okay? Buildings, grounds and transportation,
Our stuff's gonna be part of our regular new business.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's all there is.
all right, and policy, planning and curriculum. We have a few items coming up, under new business as well. Other than that, not much to report at this time. So moving on, reports from the superintendent.
Okay, you can see as informational, there's a fundraiser form in there, just letting the board know. The volleyball is gonna be fundraising for warm-ups.
The car wash,
Yes.
okay?
Okay, just informational, and then, okay, so the referendum piece, we've been talking about it after the survey. And you can see, the August 27th date is the final decision date that we need to make a decision about whether we're gonna go to referendum in November. We're hoping we can do it before that, because that's the drop dead date.
Mhm.
A couple things I'm hoping the board, you don't have to act on anything tonight or anything, but, what we're looking for is does the board want one or two questions? Because you can see the tax impact in there. You want one or two questions? And do we definitely want to go to referendum? So those are the two things we need to know. We don't have to make a decision tonight. I was hoping, at the very latest, the regular board meeting in July, or we can have a special meeting late July. Just so that it gives Quarles and Brady time to put the resolutions together.
Mhm.
Like, if you tell me what you're gonna do tonight, I'll have, you don't need to make a motion or anything, but what I'll do is what they wanted is the board to look at the resolutions so that the language sounded right when it went to the ballot. It's the ballot language.
Mhm.
So that's really, I could bring that to budget and finance could look at it, they could send it to the full board, just so we have enough time for you guys to make sure you have all your ducks in a row, you don't have any questions. And then the other piece of that is we're at the end of the cycle. So January, we go in November if you decided. January then is the end of the cycle, and then come back again in April that same year if we wanted to do, let's say something happened where we didn't work out or something, we can come back again in April, whether we do one or two questions. We're allowed two a year, and then that would be our two for the year if you decided to go that. Whatever the board decides to do, you can think about it, but when you do decide, I'm thinking July at some point, so I can get Quarles and Brady to get the resolution. If you decide to go that route, then you can look them over and ask questions, and they'll even come and present too.
Kevin, I have one question, and it's on the statement Baird did on the tax impact. Where it says, maximum aid loss. You tell me how we get aid loss out of this, because I'm a little confused.
I'll have to send that off too, because we
Okay.
didn't have the sheet and she went through it with us. She
Okay.
sent it later.
Well, if we're not gonna vote tonight, it's fine.
Yeah, no,
I'm a little
so
confused on how
that's
we're
the
gonna
kind of
lose
stuff
the
that I wanna have from you. Yeah, I'll look into that piece.
It's on the revenue.
Okay. And I can bring the revenue and worksheet and show you too, but I don't,
Yeah, I just don't ever
Sure,
remember
that'd be
seeing that
better.
before, so I'm just a little confused.
Yeah, because we don't want to miss out on something.
So I don't want to speak to it, but one of the things that's happening is because of the Milwaukee situation. There's aid problems going on because I don't know if you guys have been following that at all. So there's different impacts of what might happen to school districts. I mean, it shouldn't impact us at all, and I don't think that's it, but I'll double check on it.
Well, the one representative that's not us, but on the other side of us says it is. He just put out a newsletter about how Milwaukee Schools is hurting funding for northern part of the state. So there's something going on.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be
guys
making a
follow it.
statement
I
like
mean, I don't
that.
want to get into it tonight, but they did talk about how some things were happening and there's some problems and KPIs involved. So yeah, okay, I'll look at that.
Thank you.
And, any other questions, feel free to email me along the way too. Cause what I'd like to do is, yeah, just let me know so I can get some things prepared and planned for you.
Well,
So I guess my question, Kevin, to you is that like the bid for the boilers came in at 605,000, so then will that be adjusted down?
No, we were gonna go for the 700, and that's another thing the board can decide, but at buildings and grounds, we talked about leaving those amounts
Okay.
because of unanticipated
Wiggle
potential
room.
costs.
right, plus
If there's any cost overrun
And how
while you're.
creative they verbiage the question on the ballot would then determine if that those funds could be used for anything else within the building.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'll let her.
We could use it to pay back the loan.
Yeah, but the other thing is too, the other thing is, that was one of the things to talk about, but I can have her at budget and finance as well too. We've done that before. So if budget and finance decides they want her to come and, that's okay too. And then we can have her at the regular meeting. We've done all that before, so.
And did we have any idea of the price on the roofing?
We're still sticking at 700.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Dan thinks that it's gonna be better than that. He feels like there's a better option, but we still want to stay with that amount because of the potential costs.
Other issues?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
so we're looking at the timeline of July, you said for this. So at this point, aside from getting that other information for the committee, how is the rest of the board feeling towards these numbers? I mean, they're pretty much close to maybe a little bit higher than what's projected for both of these things, and honestly, we're probably
I
gonna
think we're
need
gonna
both
need
of
more.
these things, so
Yes.
we might just want to go ahead and see about getting this drafted up accordingly after we get the other information along with it. Or just plan on having it drafted up so we could maybe vote on this next month.
Are you saying have it drafted as one question?
No,
You guys.
I think do we do it as two or do we do it as one?
I prefer one.
Yeah, I think one.
We're doing this deciding right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not, I didn't put this on here for a motion to be made or anything.
No, July is gonna be here like in minutes and I'd rather.
I think if there was one
Be
question,
ahead
it
of,
would differently too.
So would you
To
like to look at
encompass-
one question and what it looks like in terms of language? Would you like that to start?
Sure.
yeah, let's do that.
I think that it could encompass other issues if there was any overflow type.
I don't know. I don't want to speak to that because I'm not sure, but I'll let her know that's what you want. and You'll have the minutes.
Okay,
Other things as needed.
I have no clue, might be the dust in
You all
here.
right?
all right, so going ahead, get those and see about getting this written up as just one question. And we'll go from this month.
I promise I'm not contagious.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so moving on, reports, principals. Mrs. Herman.
Oh. Sorry. AGR, I present to the board twice a year. AGR is Achievement Gap Reduction. That is what allows us to have classroom sizes 18 to 1. And also to provide a literacy coach if I go over the numbers on 18. So twice a year, I present a report. The report that is attached is our end of the year report that teachers do all the filling out based on the last data that they collect from students. Do you have any questions on the report?
Do you break them down by teachers? Or do we just see the overall thing?
It's in your
Classroom.
documents and it's
Great.
by grade level,
Okay, but not by teacher.
but not by teacher. Correct.
Checking. Oh, I-
The way the objectives are written, they all just say students will do, but do we have our own individual goal of, we're trying to go from, it was 39% this upcoming year, we're gonna try to get that to 45% or any.
The
more
objectives,
measures?
no, the objectives stay the same year after year.
Mhm.
As per the contract that we do with AGR. So every 5 years, when we sign up for our contract again, then we can change our objectives.
And then what happens if we're not meeting the objective? So how does that factor in over that 5 years? It's just,
It doesn't factor in each year they do a report as a full state as to what districts across the state have accomplished and what they're working on, basically. But no, we don't, we use the data in that it helps to build our Dragon 10 groups, our tier 2 groups. But we use which you'll see in the next one. Our Title I plan is where we use a majority of our data. It's really the same data,
okay.
so.
So Carrie, not that I necessarily need to see it, but do you look at, say, if we have 13 out of 22 third graders that reach the 30th percentage of whatever this objective I'm looking at is, do you look at the breakdown between teachers with the students?
I do.
Okay, so in that case, let's say one teacher was significantly above another. How do
I
you
have
address
never
it?
found that.
Okay, I was just wondering if like maybe, they used to take like one teacher did all reading and one teacher did all math
Yeah, we don't
versus.
do that anymore.
Right.
At my end, only science and social studies at
Okay.
4th and 5th is where they switch.
Mhm.
Partially for these reasons, because of the data,
Okay,
so that it's not being placed all on one staff member.
Some of these numbers are on the rather low end.
Which I would expect based on the fact that we have a new ELA program that was year 1 last year for CKLA, and we're only in year 2 of our math program. And typically, when you have new programs that you're following your curriculums, you won't see that growth until year 3 through 5. And the reason is because we have a gap from where they were to where they're going. So there's going to automatically be a gap in their instruction. So
Okay,
do you compare end of year this year to end of year last year to see like this year's third graders, where were they as second grader kind of thing? Cause I know we have certain classes that are more challenging than others.
we do, and Becky Wickland is very good about tracking that over
Okay.
time. And I believe.
I mean, I know
in
some
your
of the
Title
kids
I
don't stay
report,
in the
you'll
classes,
see
but-
where she tracks that over time.
Okay,
And she also does that middle school, high school then too. We track that.
to see if it's a class thing versus a curriculum thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No further questions at this moment.
Our Title I plan is attached also. And we have to have it on the docket for not even approval, just so that you're aware of what our Title I plan looks like at the elementary level. And Are you able to see all the pages in there?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. For that,
Did you have enough pages in there? I mean,
we could use a few more.
I can't always answer all of the questions on here because Becky Wickland is a rock star with this, but if you do have questions, let me know. All of the blue areas are another link that would be, which you don't have, we don't have the access for the links. If there's something that you're interested in knowing more, that's a blue link, please email me and I will send that to you.
So I know we adopted this new stuff and you're saying it's gonna take, what, 3 years to turn these gaps around?
Yep.
That's. So we should just expect low numbers for the next 3 years?
Because you're
Not
two?
necessarily. Not necessarily. It just kind of depends on, it depends on how fast they learn this curriculum and the structure and routines of it is a lot of it. Teachers were very satisfied at the end of the year with some of the results that they were getting from CKLA. Our 3rd and 4th grade results are a little bit lower, but those are our COVID kids too. And so we kind of know that they're a little bit lower. Just based on their infrequent schooling that they had during those COVID times. And as we learn more about the curriculum, teachers will automatically use their professional judgment and they will supplement as needed to make sure that they're hitting all of the standards.
It's just when you invest in new curriculum and stuff like that, and then you see not the greatest numbers right away, I'm sure some would wonder if why we would go with that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the nature of curriculum. It takes 3 to 5 years in order for that to get solidified and to be able to trust our data again. More closer to 3, but they always say 3 to 5.
Anyone have any other questions? Thanks. Ms. Campbell.
Right, one of the really exciting things about the Stronger Connections grant is that we will have a licensed therapist in the building. And this grant is different than the previous one that we had where we were able to bring in a licensed therapist because this will actually be K through 12. And so we had put out, an ad that we needed a licensed therapist for 1 day a week, 8 hours a day for 33 weeks. We were very excited that we had 5 applicants that were all extremely qualified, and the people services team met and interviewed, and it was a very, very tough decision. But we came and decided as a team to go with the Meaningful Connections Therapy, which is Mandy Jeske, to be our therapist in-house 1 day a week. So we have an MOU on file for that, for her to start. It'll be probably the 2nd or 3rd week of school that she would start coming in. That way we can get kids in and kind of see where things are at. And so the great thing about it too is that it doesn't have to go through insurance. Because it's paid for through the grant. And so like if families can't meet, co-pays or deductibles or don't have insurance or whatever. And so it's for those kids that aren't able to get services basically. So we're super excited about that.
How will it be decided if there are more kids to be seen than time in the day?
Well, we just have to basically, as a team with both the therapist and then the people services members kind of prioritize based on need. And it will change throughout the year because, we might have a kid that comes in and just needs, temporary assistance or whatnot, or, a small elementary kid might would only take a smaller portion of time because they're not gonna have the attention span as in, a senior in high school. So, it's gonna depend on how that goes.
And is the goal to do all individual sessions or will there be other like group activities?
So
or-
for this person right now, the, plan is probably all private individual therapy, the school building.
So can parents reach out and get kids signed up for this, or is this something that staff's kind of picking in?
Yeah,
Like,
I
how are
mean,
the
parents would
students?
definitely, if they had, concerns or whatever and reached out to our guidance counselor and said, I have concerns, I would like to get my kid in therapy, I'm running into these roadblocks. And we could definitely consider it.
Okay, good.
Nope, just, well, like Katie said, hopefully, everyone can get help that needs to,
Mhm.
and there's gonna be enough hours in that day.
And they're created with, what did you say they,
It's a meaningful connection.
connections, where are they
Therapy.
based? Oh, out of Frederick, okay, so they'll be able to send off for additional assessments and things that the therapist won't be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we have we already have many other therapists that come into the building and meet kids. It's just that needs to, and we
It's
always,
mostly for, I think, the kids that don't have the
Yeah.
means. So
Yeah.
like if your insurance covers it,
Mhm.
there's no reason
Yeah.
for us to have to use
Mhm.
this person for it.
right. So it's those people or cases or situations where there's gaps and they just aren't able, or for whatever reason, the parents just aren't able to follow through with getting them the services that they're needing.
Well, and sometimes parents might be more willing to deal with a school seeking aid for their child than
Yeah.
actually their own medical professionals.
Well, I think we have a lot of guardianship situations where I think this will work well when
Yeah.
it's not, they're not in the hands of their parents, but the
Yeah.
kids need stuff, but the guardian doesn't want to take the time or doesn't realize that the needs are not being met of the children.
So exciting, hopefully
Yeah,
a lot
really
of good comes
exciting.
from it, so.
Can definitely
you.
know our mental health.
Um.
Denise?
Oh,
I'm good.
sorry. Reports, special education director.
Yep, my attachment is only one page, not like 15 million like Mrs. Herman's was. Our lovely school psychologist has a lovely way with numbers, so you can kind of go through and see numbers we started with, numbers we ended with. We did have 8 graduates this year. We did do 46 evals and reevals that were completed this year. 12 new evaluations that did qualify, 9 that no disability was found. And then on the bottom, you will see the homeless numbers.
So as always, 'cause I gotta ask, what are our projections for next year? Do we look like we're getting more cases yet again, or?
We have 2 students that are now residing in the district. I don't know if they are coming here. I don't know what that situation is, and I probably am not going to reach out to them until August to find out. As far as, I will put our child find information out there. Our community partners, our Head Starts are always really good about making referrals if they have concerns about kiddos. So I would expect that we would probably get some from them right away in the fall after like Head Start does their screening and that kind of stuff. We usually get a few out of there with some concerns from staff at Head Start, but we usually end up with a lot at the end of the year. Based on our interventions, students that aren't necessarily making progress in interventions, we usually push those to referral for learning disability. Some qualify, some do not. So.
And how's our staffing situation looking?
At the moment, not good, but I'm still optimistic.
Okay, How not good?
I have had no new applicants on my, we can't add yet, so.
Okay. Well, I'd rather you be honest.
Yeah, no, I've got 2 or 3 different scenarios floating around in my brain. I am hoping we get some applicants. That's
Okay.
number one priority.
Thank you. Indian education report, did we get anything from Tara?
Tara says, the tribal youth education, the tribal youth enrichment and scholarship, the YES program is starting this week. Students had orientation prior to starting work tomorrow. They are able to work in various tribal departments, participate in education days, and earn college credits if they so choose. The program has been very popular in the past and continues to grow.
All right, then. There's always a ton of students involved with it, so hopefully we'll get some good experiences this summer. Moving on, looking for approval of the regular school board meeting minutes from May 20th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion from Kelly, second from Steve to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? Moving on to new business. 2024 school trip.
Make a motion, we approve the band trip for 2020.
Second.
Motion from Peggy, seconded by Kelly to approve the trip. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bryn, there's a couple of spots that you need to fix in there.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I tried to get something out to you like what I've had before, so.
okay.
And nobody opposed? All right. Statement of Civility Handbook. So,
Approving this to go in the hands.
yeah, we're just approving this to go into the handbook. This came through policy. Just been having some issues coming up more lately with parents and parents, staff, students, basically name it, being less civil as of late. And this is hopefully going to help to address some of those concerns. So looking for a motion to approve the statement of civility.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Got motion by Jamie, seconded by Kelly. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, moving on to the 2024-2025 elementary student handbook.
I made the changes as we were talking the other day.
This also came before policy. We had the additions of the civility part along with just some minor changes to the staffing and calendar dates. And there's something else,
The class list.
the class list, yep, and there's way. Yeah, the teacher, yep, there we go. That was good. All right, so looking for a motion.
Motion to approve the elementary student handbook.
Motion by Kelly,
I'll second it.
seconded by Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, 2024-2025 middle school, high school student handbook.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
Well, we didn't know that I had it wrong.
Yet again, came before policy committee, same basically changes as the elementary handbook.
I'll make a motion to approve the middle school, high school student handbook. I'll second it and also just ask why the removal of the Siren Middle School Dragon Pride section.
So part of the Stronger Connections grant is that we are going to be looking at some restorative practices. And so we'll have a staff training in the fall. We have been looking at revamping that throughout the year and had not really come to a solid conclusion or plan. And in light of the fact that we are going to be trying to incorporate more of the restorative approach, we decided that we should probably wait and work with the professionals that are coming in to train our staff and us. And then both Tim and myself are spending a lot of time this summer ourselves reading, taking graduate courses on the whole restorative practices and restorative justice as well. So our plan is to revise that in the fall. So we just basically took it out so that we're not bound by that for going into the school year.
Perfect.
All right, we got a motion by Kelly, seconded by Katie. All those in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? All right, boilers, total mechanical services.
I'll take it, then you can add. So this is, we were, remember, if you remember, we were concerned about getting a legitimate boiler quote or with integrity. Steve, I think you're familiar with this company. Dan did brought this to Buildings and Grounds for the 605,000, and we felt very, very comfortable. I don't want to speak out of turn here, but very, very comfortable with the gentleman who came and said they absolutely know boilers inside and out. But we just wanted to make sure the board approved this so that you understood what the cost was. So if we decided not to go to referendum, this is where we're at, but we were just trying to get the numbers for a quote, and we finally did do that. And I think Dan is very happy. You weren't there to speak to it, but
No.
I think Dan was very happy with the visit that came and Katie come had.
Yeah, and this bid is good till 2025.
Right.
Good,
That's
excellent.
Mhm. And there's just a few things on there that it's not covering.
Which is why we have the little extra money.
Yeah,
Electrical would be my biggest worry.
Right.
That
We
needs a
have,
different kind of electrical. system.
Labor too.
Premium labor.
Premium, that's like
That if they have to
overtime.
do overtime.
Yeah,
weekends, holidays.
the
Added in.
Peggy, in response to your electrical, that was all checked out by these guys. And did verify that the panels there, the panel, main circuit panel coming in would handle the load of both of these boilers.
Oh, okay. That's all.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
The structure, wasn't there an issue with the structure before?
Well, when they bring these new boilers in, they're gonna be a little bit higher than the other boilers, so they're gonna have to raise some of the piping up, but that's all included in this bid. So,
I just remember it was like a weight thing or something.
No, that's
that-
those are the
The
chillers.
chillers,
on the
those are-
roof.
I
They're not
said
on the
that and then I was like,
roof. They're on the floor.
those are totally different.
Yeah.
But we should be getting bids from these guys for that as well.
So do we
But we're
just
not
have,
doing anything with.
I wanted you to approve it so it's in the minutes so that you've accepted this quote.
Ah,
yeah, we'll just accept it. I don't think we.
Pending the
Yeah.
referendum.
pending financing.
Tenant
Or-
financing,
yeah.
yeah,
But
exactly,
okay, if you've acknowledged the number, you've
Yeah.
acknowledged the quote.
yeah,
If the board wants to approve the quote, I'm not saying
So we can accept the quote is what you're saying.
accept.
We're not necessarily
Yeah.
approving it for work. We're just accepting
Right.
the amount.
Accept the amount, yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the amount of this quote for the boilers.
I'll
Okay,
second it.
did the 700,000 amount though, right?
This bid of 605 from
Okay.
this company,
Accepting the bid.
the bid.
Okay.
yep. So we've got a motion by Katie, seconded by Steve, to accept the bid for the boilers. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, now on to paint bid.
Okay, I'm gonna let you take this one since it's the
Yeah.
wall that you had requested.
Okay, so the 4K little outlet area and then back behind the shop walls, the paint is very worn off and not looking the greatest. So with all of the playground getting finished, it would be nice to have that painted. It was not part of the original playground bid, so this is the bid that was found for that. It's 3 colors of paint to make it look like they painted the stripes brick colored. So it would follow the rest of the building. And the goal would be to do this after the completion of the playground, once all the dust had settled there. And the benefit would be, it would be into the next fiscal year after July. So we brought it to approve here again, pending the completion of the playground.
And Dan has money in his budget to pay for this?
This would be one of
Yes,
those
we're
bigger
gonna move that
projects.
Out of the maintenance.
The July first budget, yep.
Okay.
420.
Oh, okay.
So I guess my question is, did we get more than one bid?
He had one bid that the people did not come forward. They didn't
Okay.
finish doing it. So this
Okay.
was the second. So he felt this was gonna be our best option.
So he did put it out for bids though, and this is just all he got.
This is
So,
all
okay.
that came back, yeah.
That's getting to be more normal with everything we put out there, that we're only getting one bid on everything, so.
Yes.
Excuse me, can I ask for clarification? Is it going to include this little middle school hallway?
It was just the
Just the back?
back portion
Thank you.
that we did look at.
Exterior.
Exterior, yes,
Yes.
exterior.
All right, so I guess we're,
So I'll make a motion that we accept this bid pending the completion of the playground to get this painting done.
I'll second it.
all right. Motion by Katie, seconded by Peggy to accept the bid. All those in favor? Opposed? Parking lot bids.
So then please add, Katie, since you were running that meeting. So the two lots that we're looking at are the district parking lot here, where most of you guys park here. This was based on the rotation schedule, I think,
Right.
and that we've been following for the last 9 years. So this lot is one section, and then the athletic lot where the students and coaches park outside the weight room, that lot.
Okay.
So those are the two sections, and then correct me on the $600 piece, which is an additional $600 if they decided to go further where, Katie?
If they were gonna wrap around this admin lot and to the north side of the building, like along the football fields. And so we said it was probably unnecessary to do that. It's not that bad. We're gonna have construction stuff coming in
When you
anyway
talking about by the playground.
by the playground.
Okay,
And then the playground was gonna figure out how far they were gonna, how much of the playground budget would replace asphalt anyway.
Okay.
The total amount minus the 600 and the
80. And it's restriping and filling cracks and whatnot. And there is some curb and apron damage that's on the weight room side.
Yeah.
We asked Dan to check in because that should be the village. They handle curb and gutter. So the concrete that is there should be their need to be replaced. And I would hope then we would time this repair with them repairing that area. There is also a big hole in the sidewalk back there too. So maybe they.
And are
fix
we
all
gonna be
that.
assessed for that then?
Well, that's what he's checking on. To
The
see.
last time they did work, we got assessed.
Isn't there
And
a
it was
hole
a
in
lot.
our sidewalk by the weight room there too? Isn't that where we had a staff member step?
There's a crack by the community garden. I don't recall there being one by the weight room doors.
Maybe there's not.
So
All right, and when would this be happening?
I do not recall Dan talking about a timeline for this.
It's usually before the beginning.
Before the beginning of school, yeah.
Typically.
Yeah,
I would assume he'll wait as late as he can so that the playground equipment is done moving through the area first.
I think he'll work with them.
Well, and if we're waiting for the village to do some work too.
Yeah, that was his next step, so I don't know
Yeah.
where, we're waiting on that, I guess. Maybe.
And how good is this bid is good for how long, do we know? I don't see sometimes they say 30 or 60 days, and I don't see anything on there.
they were really good. They did the other ones, so
So you think they'd wait,
yeah,
they'd hold to this?
for the summer,
Okay,
I would hope so.
I'll make a motion to accept the parking lot bid.
I'll second that.
Motion by Peggy, seconded by Katie to accept the parking lot bid. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, snow pusher.
So he didn't seem to have a significant need for the snow pusher and felt like he didn't use that on a regular basis. It's fairly good condition because of lack of use.
Mhm.
And I think he did look it up, it's worth $2,000. And I think he wanted to go ahead and put that for sale.
Okay, so we didn't use it this year.
Mhm.
because we didn't have any snow.
We
How about previous
contract
years?
out. the
Oh,
snow
okay,
removal.
okay. I just wanna make sure we're.
Not just because of the lack of snow, it was the fact that we're now contracting out the snow removal parts.
And I think that was
Okay.
a Craig thing, so I don't know that me and him agreed on it, I
Okay.
don't wanna speak for them.
So he can sell it?
Yeah.
He's wanting board approval to sell it, he says he's gonna ask
Yeah.
$1,500.
It's an attachment for the skid steer.
Well, not use that.
It's worth 2,000, but he said he'd like to start it.
A new one is worth 2,000 and he thought he could get 1,500 to 1,800 for it. Used.
If we're not using it, we might as well sell it.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I'll make a motion to approve selling of the snow pusher.
I'll second that. All right, motion by Katie, seconded by myself to allow Dan to sell the snow pusher. All those in favor? Opposed? Benedict cooler replacement.
Okay, this is the quote, we received for, cooler replacement. I did talk to Tiffany about that. I don't think it can wait. I think it's something that and Dan as well, that needs to occur.
They're not using this walk-in currently at all.
Is this the same one we had fixed like
Just the
2 years
walk-in.
ago?
Yes, and it's gonna, his thought was it's gonna
Doesn't
keep.
work.
next year from
Yeah,
happening us if we
we
don't
can't
get it
keep it.
fixed. I mean, we can continue to patch it,
But I think it
but
was
we need a new.
quite a lot last.
So the last one was the actual freezer. It was
Oh, okay.
coolers.
Oh, okay, okay. And how old is this cooler?
20 years, I think.
Got our light
is what
out.
they
Yeah, we
said,
got it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's time.
So the only thing that's not included in here is the electrical, and Dan said, for whatever reason, the electrical coming into the current unit is paired with something else. So it would be preferable to put it onto its own circuit. And
Yes.
he was working on getting a quote for that electrical side of things.
I'll make a motion, we accept the cooler bid, because it's only good for 30 days. We need to get this done.
Yeah,
I'll second
Before
that.
it goes up.
okay, motion by Peggy, seconded by Katie to approve the cooler replacement bid. All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? All right, meeting calendars. Budget finance personnel, tentatively, we've got July 15th. It's a Monday.
We were talking, we had sent Tom, and we were hoping, could we do it? Could we do most of our meetings, if not all of them, during the month of July, during the week of the 8th? If possible? Right?
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
22nd is shot.
We just combine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine too.
So, and, you know, depending on what you guys wanna do we need all three, you know?
So I think, we definitely have to do budget.
yeah, I can
Um,
move it up ahead a week. That's not a problem for me.
So the 8th.
Yeah, that works for
Okay,
me.
let's do the 8th of July for budget and finance. Still 4:15?
That works great for me.
Just double checking, you too, Katie? Okay. All right, so the 8th at 4:15 for that one. Buildings and grounds, do you guys think you're gonna need a meeting next month or?
The only thing that could come up is more playground stuff.
Can we do to be
That could
determined?
be a specialized.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it a TBD.
Well, what did you need? Like, that would just be the buildings, the committee, wouldn't it? The playground committee, or would you
Yeah.
need to meet for buildings?
Yeah, you're right.
It just
Yeah.
playground committee.
Oh,
We have a
sorry.
separate
Yeah.
building for that. So I think if
Oh, even better.
we'll invite Peggy, make sure you invite Peggy. She really wants to come, Katie.
Always open to us. So then we got policy planning and curriculum. I think we covered a lot this last
Let's
month.
say if you already did the handbooks, we're ahead.
August too, prior to school year, if we wanna come up with something as well.
I don't think we have anything.
Don't think we do.
Awesome.
No. All right, so. Yeah, unless something comes up, we'll just put a TBD on that one as well. But not plan on having it. Regular school board meeting, Monday, July 29th at 6 P.M.
Mhm.
Hopefully that works for everyone
We
because.
need to do a motion to change that,
Yes.
correct? So I make a motion, we change the regular board.
We already did it, yes, we
Yeah,
did.
we did it.
forgot, that's
You-
fine.
It's what,
Yeah.
we did it,
Did
already done.
June.
We already made a motion for July 1 or 2 months ago. and we-
Yeah.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
About it.
In
okay,
April.
We forgot.
okay,
I thought so, because it had already been moved on my calendar. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
"Not there."
We had
Okay.
done that.
I say, no, you can't just move it.
No, we did it. So thank you.
Okay,
Okay, I'm sorry.
29th.
20.
Oh, okay, that's what I.
See?
We already all decided.
We do. We just forgot we
We're ahead of
decided.
ourselves. There
We
we
did
go.
it in April.
I think we did.
All right.
I think it's been 2 months.
Might be the shortest
All right,
bill packet ever.
That was a very short bill packet.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion from Peggy, seconded by Katie to approve the bills. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. AGR report and vouchers. I have to sign this one. And what about the vouchers? Were those
We
already?
sign those.
I already
You
signed it.
got them already taken care of? Okay.
I like the library change. I know.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So with all that taken care of. I'm looking for a motion to convene the closed session under Wisconsin State Statute 19.851 CEFG to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility. Considerations of financial, medical, social, or personal information, and to confer with legal counsel who is rendering oral or written advice.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Steve, call the roll, please.
Katie,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Peggy,
Yes.
Dave.
Yeah.
Steve, yes.
All right.
Give me just.